a type of investment process that maybe doesn't really align with the type of an investor that you think you are or you actually are, blah, blah, blah. But you know what I mean? Ask yourself about the process, because if you are a true, very short-term day trader type, when this broke, this was an intraday chart from October 9th right through Monday. On Monday, when it broke through this trend line here, and then you got the proof that, then you got news that the short interest increased. Like when you get that news, that's very short-term bearish. This is a 15-minute intraday chart, right? That stuff doesn't register with me. But like there's been bearish stuff, and there's like, this is like this type of stuff you pick up on. You're like, oh, that's a little bit bearish. You broke through this trend line here, and then you get the short interest. And I know some people say, oh, the short interest going up is bullish. I disagree with that. A heavy short interest and even those incremental adds, those are objectively speaking bearish. Now, for someone like me and for other people who might have longer term theses that's grounded in the fundamentals, the rise in the short interest, you may say, you know what? There's a slightly higher probability that something could go crazy here. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean that other market participants are interpreting that as bullish. Every time you, like I always say, like generally speaking, when I come across a heavily shorted stock, I'm usually not interested because the market is really, really bearish on that type of a stock. And so with this, on Monday, when you saw the short interest rise incrementally, right? We're all like, oh, this is good news for those folks who have a fundamental thesis, right? Because fundamental thesis is unchanged in that the bets against it have increased, right? So that's like, oh, there's a slightly higher chance that this could get a little bit interesting if something starts unfolding here on a structural front, right? But as far as short-term trading goes, like that's marginally bearish, and then the chart breaking here marginally bearish. So that's just the intraday chart, right? This stuff doesn't even register with me. And then we broke through that little I don't even want to spend too much time on the intraday chart. This daily chart, we kind of broke through on that trend line on the daily chart today. You had, what was that, 5 straight days? Every day it was red, right? And then it was, and someone pointed this out on Twitter, and I agree with them. This is this divergence here on the RSI, on the daily, right? A little bit bearish. Like, there's been bearish indicators. You have to ask yourself, what is your investment approach, right? What is it that, what's your thesis? What's your thesis? Because I could easily argue, and we always have folks on the chat too. Cheers to the folks who do that. I know JG too, they're doing this of taking that side of like, what is the bearish case? Like there was a bearish case this week, and then the whole market's selling off, right? Everything in context, right? If the market's selling off, now it's clear that even though GameStop has this imminent catalyst on fundamentals front, right? Everyone's known about it, but I just mean psychologically, sentiment-wise. Market doesn't care. Market doesn't care. GameStop is still a risk-on stock. Will sell off with all the other deep value stocks, risk-on stocks. GameStop, by virtue of Ryan Cohen being joining the long investors team, and in talking with management in the Microsoft partnership news, does not change this short-term market view that GameStop is still that largely they are bearish, right? This week is proof of that. Last week it was like you saw a little bit of the divergences, but here you go. Here's your proof.